Okay, so summary for Village. Now, normally you're not going to see quite such a mad rush to the grave as you saw with us, but we really were trying to keep the game moving, reasonably quickly, show you a little bit of everything, but, reasonably succinct about it. Because honestly, the Chronicle at best is worth 12 points, and I mean, you can get 12 points out of just a couple customer tiles, so it's not really the winning strategy to the game, just, it was a way to keep it moving reasonably quickly and show you the whole thing. So, all that aside, as you can see on the box, this is a Kennerspiel des Jahres. I think I said that right, could be horribly wrong. I believe winner, it might have just been a nominee, but I think it actually won. Which very prestigious award, very exciting. And it's absolutely deserved for this game. This is, you could definitely call it a little bit lighter of a worker placement game. It's not an Agricola or anything like that, but that in a way makes it very accessible. It's not, it's not going to replace Carcassonne or anything like that for gateways, but it is a good one to show people worker placement mechanics that, haven't tried it before. Maybe played a few games, but haven't delved into worker placement at all. Lords of Waterdeep is another good one for that purpose, but the theme can be a little, the theme's a little harder to get across to, say, your parents or non-gamer types, or somebody else you really want to show more, modern gaming to who might not be so into the fantasy D&D theme. I mean, the rules are really very simple to this game. The church is probably the most confusing part, but even that, really, as long as one person understands it, no big deal. It'll flow by nice and quickly. There's a lot of deep strategy that can go into this game, too. One of the most powerful strategies that I ran into was making heavy use of the end space of the political office, turning a coin into 3 points, because you can mill grain into 2 coins, and then through the space and the well actions, take that end political action over and over and over and just crank out huge amounts of points. It requires some very careful planning and such to get there. You really ideally want a level 3 or era 3 or 4 person in the political office. You don't want them dying. You don't want to have to work somebody back over there.
It takes some time to do it.
Yeah, and that's also obviously probably going to keep you out of the Chronicle, for the political office, because you don't want them dead. But there's a lot of really interesting, neat little strategies you can come up with for this, and trying to balance all the myriad ways to get points is really very engaging. And the very, very accessible theme will let you bring this game out a lot more than something like Lords of Waterdeep, perhaps. My parents are real troopers when it comes to the games I try and show them, but you can tell that a nice, simple farming theme is something they can get much more into more easily than something like Lords of Waterdeep.
Didn't your dad win Waterdeep?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say they were bad at it, just that they had a better time engaging in things like this. My mom especially really seemed to get into Village having grown up essentially on a farm. So, it's one of those games that it feels similar to a lot of other worker placement games, but it's just so solidly put together, so well balanced, and so, interestingly conceived across all the spaces that you find yourself returning to it a lot more than a lot of the other options. I mean, we've played this game, gotta be 20 times, and that is a lot for, people doing reviews. Yeah, when you do reviews, you just don't get to play stuff as many times as you would like, because you have to be on to the next thing, playing that over and over and over, so that you can get it down well enough to give it a fair review, and in our case, playthrough. But Village, it's one of those we like to pull out when, it's time for a break from the next video thing. So, really, it's only around $40, I think, give or take. you know, of course, depending on where you look and so on. But it's absolutely worth looking into if you need a sort of lighter, sort of light medium worker placement with a great accessible theme in your collection. You could certainly do a lot worse. So, if you liked what you saw, definitely consider picking this one up. But, if you didn't, well, there you go. So, hopefully you got what you needed out of all this. And till next time, get off your computer and play some more games. And I'm going to go chase down that bunny. So, bye-bye.